Guess who's back? Back again. Chris is back. Tell a friend. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Chris Watches the World. Today we're gonna be doing the same thing we do every day, reacting to this crazy world. I got a different type of video today. It's about getting scammed. Like I say, it's one of those things that just kind of happens to people, but it's also something that people just need to be be on the lookout for. But this happened in Chicago. So let's go ahead and see what went down.
Capturing the moment, this Mebane woman says she handed over her savings of $17,500 in cash to a complete stranger.
Every morning I wake up and I'm like, I just want this nightmare to go away.
This woman, who asked us not to name her or show her face for fear of being a target again, but says she wants to share her heartache with hopes of preventing the scam from happening to someone else. It started when she was on her computer trying to log on to her bank account.
I put in my password and username and got to the website, but it wouldn't let me open my accounts.
She grabbed her cell phone and says she went to the number saved in her cell phone for her bank.
She says, oh, your account's been frozen. And I said, why? And she said, well, there was a suspicious charge from PayPal from the day before. And I said, well, I didn't make that.
She says she was transferred to what she thought was a PayPal fraud department, but the call quality was so bad that she ended the call and called a Florida number back. It's not clear how she got that Florida number. On the line with them, she says she was told.
She probably went to Google um, and typed in her information to what she was trying to call, and that other name probably may have popped up or something like that.
The charge was for $82, and they said they could refund her, but she had to follow their instructions, which included downloading several things on her computer.
And I typed $82, and I immediately looked up to the screen, and it says $18,000. And then it goes, accept, 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 just like that. And I said to this man, I said, that's wrong. I said, that's not what I typed in. I said, that's a mistake.
At first glance, she says it looked like an extra $18,000 was deposited into her account. In reality, which she didn't know at the time, the scammer just transferred the money from her savings to checking.
What you have to do to fix it is you have to get cash, go to your bank and get cash.
Hesitant to follow his instructions, but she says this letter with a Bank of America logo came out of her printer, stating there's a serious matter concerning your account, an unresolved tax issue related to a personal transaction from PayPal. As a result, online account transfers are temporarily blocked by the IRS. The letter goes on to state, we have not notified your local branch. It's crucial you refrain from discussing this transaction with them. Doing so may lead to freezing or seizing all funds in your account. You can see the call with the person lasted over 4 hours.
He kept saying, don't hang up on me, don't hang up.
She did stay on the line for over 4 hours. She drove to her bank and withdrew $17,500. As she says, a man told her she could keep $500 for her troubles.
The bank manager came over and he said, before we proceed, he said, are you being harassed? And I'm like, no, I'm not being pressured. Because I didn't think I was. I didn't know I was being scammed.
She says she even signed a document saying she was taking this money out on her own free will.
Wow.
After getting the money, she continued to follow the caller's instructions, drove home. This letter, she says, printed from her printer, thanking her for returning the funds to PayPal, and a Mr. Jack has been assigned to collect the cash. Not long after her doorbell camera catches this man coming to her door to pick up the cash. She handed over the cash, thinking the ordeal is over, and called her daughters to tell them about her long day.
Before I could hardly get this story out of my mouth, I'm like, Mom, you've been scammed.
At first, she thought she was the only victim until she saw this man's mugshot, Lingwei Zhang. She says it's the same guy that came to her door, and she handed over her $17,500. Zhang is charged with obtaining property under false pretenses in her case, and he, along with another suspect, are also facing charges in Person, Durham, and Granville counties.
Of course, Porky Pig is involved. I couldn't help it. Like I said, he taking folks. He take elderly money. I don't have any problem with him and the weasel beazle over here. I don't care.
Of obtaining property under false pretenses, assessing computers, and felony conspiracy. According to the Person County Sheriff, whose department was the first to make the arrest, the two suspects are living in this country without legal permission. The sheriff says they're currently working with the North Carolina SBI and the Department of Homeland Security to identify more victims and suspects. And while the total amount of money scammed is unknown at this time, he says it's close to $400,000.
It never occurred to me.
Send them jokers right back where they came from, deported. Out of here.
That there was going to be an evil person come into my life.
The financial loss is devastating as a large chunk of the money gone is money she says is from an insurance policy to pay her medical bills when she fought cancer last year.
What I want people to know is just because you're tired that day, don't let your defenses down.
So heartbreaking that she fell for this.
That is sad, man. But you gotta look at it like she's from a generation of where you kind of believe the things you saw, especially if something comes out and it looks like an official document. So you think that legit? Because I've gotten stuff in the mail concerning my insurance. They got all my information and stuff on it, but I know because I do enough research and I know that this is a scam. I know not to click if I'm sent a link in the email. Don't click it. If I get random text messages, don't click it. A lot of these are hackers or whatever, and once you click that link, it opens up access to your information, personally on your phone or on your desktop. Or like I said, if you they send me something for my insurance saying this was an insurance renewal, but if you sign here, it was technically kind of like a loan that you'll have to pay 24% APR. And I can also guarantee that if I sign that, sent that back, they will be getting the money and I will be stuck with the loan. And you see where I'm going with this? So you really have to be careful out there. Then on top of that, she'll never get her money back because she went to the bank, signed it out. The bank manager asked, "Were you being harassed?" Again, she didn't know. I doubt the bank does the right thing. I ain't gonna say it's the right thing. But it's unfortunate that what I'm saying, this happened to her. But he did ask, "Were you being harassed?" And she said, "No, I'm not being harassed." Signed it out, and she got scammed. So this is something that you guys need to look out for. I may do more videos like these. Y'all let me know if y'all want to see any more videos like these. But let's check out some of these comments. She needs a 24/7 care. There's no way she just handed over thousands to a random dude that showed up. But I do think, see, the guys were smart. They kept her on the phone for 4 hours until they got, everything they wanted out of her. Because had she hung up the phone, she'd have called her daughter. Well, this is going on. He said this, no, and the daughters will let her know that that was a scam. So, so you got to take that into consideration also. Don't call your bank. Immediate red flag. Scamming the elderly is a different kind of evil to be face to face with your victim, seeing your vulnerability, and still take 17,000 in cash from them is freaking cruel. That is so true. Like they need harsh sentences, almost like they do when the people that mess with kids. They're the scum of the earth, especially like the elderly people that can't go out here and make that money back like they used to and stuff. It's just not right. She needs to stay off the internet and get a caretaker. This is actually the top comment. Both those comments had like 2.3, 2.4K. Here's another one with over 1,000 likes. This is why scammers target seniors. She should have talked to her daughters before taking the money out of the bank. It doesn't take 4 hours on the phone to handle disputes. And once they told her to not discuss the matter with her local bank, she should have hung up and notified her bank. Yep, that's true. All right, let's see. Um, I set up my elderly's mom phone for her. I tell her not to answer or text any number that doesn't have your kids or friends' name on it. I told her every unknown number is a scammer. So far, so good. Yeah, and if you got elderly parents or someone that you know that's elderly or a senior, let them know what's going on in life. These can be scams, possible scams. Don't fall for this, and just things like that. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I don't want to get too long. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.